The city never slept. It just flickered between shades of guilt. Detective Ethan Cole sat in the back of the unmarked sedan, rain streaking the windows like tears he refused to shed. The radio crackled with static as the dispatcher's voice cut through. Unit 19, suspect movement confirmed. Proceed with caution. Ethan's pulse matched the rhythm of the windshield wipers. Beside him sat Marcus Hale, his partner of 6 years. Calm, steady, and smiling that familiar arrogant smirk that said we've got this. But something in Marcus's eyes was different tonight. The operation had been planned for weeks. $1 million heroin drop in a warehouse near the docks. They'd finally cornered Luis Ortega, a major player in the cartel pipeline. Ethan had spent months building the case, risking informants, his badge, and his sanity. "Let's wrap this, Cole," Marcus said, checking his Glock. "After tonight, we're golden." Ethan nodded, but the words "we're golden" stuck in his head like glass. They moved. The team split, 2 on the west entrance, 2 on the east. Ethan and Marcus took the main gate. The rain made everything shine. The puddles, the rusted shipping containers, even the faint outline of their shadows. Inside, the air reeked of oil and dust. Ethan raised his hand, 2 fingers, signaling Marcus to flank left. He heard the scuff of boots, the creak of a metal beam, and then gunfire. The world snapped into chaos. Automatic rounds shredded the air. Ethan dove behind a crate, heart pounding. He caught sight of Ortega sprinting toward the back exit. Ethan returned fire, clipped the suspect's shoulder, and rushed forward. "Marcus, cover me." No answer. He turned. Marcus was gone. "Marcus!" he yelled over the rain and bullets. "Damn it, where the hell?" A shot cracked. Ethan froze. Pain burned through his shoulder. He dropped to one knee, blood pouring through his fingers. Then a voice. Familiar. "Drop the weapon, Detective Cole." Ethan looked up. Marcus stood there, gun aimed square at his chest, badge glinting in the dim light. Behind him, 2 uniformed officers he didn't recognize. "What the hell are you doing?" Ethan gasped. Marcus stepped closer, eyes unreadable. "Orders changed, Ethan. You went rogue. Killed Ortega's runner before backup arrived. It's over." "What?" Ethan's voice cracked. "That's a lie. You set this up." But the evidence was already there. A gun on the floor beside the suspect's body, one that wasn't Ethan's. The uniforms had their radios blaring, calling it in. "Officer down." Detective Cole fired on an unarmed suspect. Marcus holstered his weapon and gave Ethan a look he'd never forget, pity mixed with cold calculation. "You shouldn't have dug too deep," he said softly. "Some doors aren't meant to be opened." Ethan's world went silent as the cuffs clicked around his wrists. 6 months later. The courtroom was full, but no one looked at him. Marcus testified clean, confident, rehearsed, every word cutting deeper. Ethan's pleas fell on deaf ears. The press called him the dirty cop who snapped. The DA wanted a win before re-election, and Ethan was the perfect scapegoat. When the sentence came down, 20 years without parole, Ethan didn't flinch. Not because he was strong, but because the man he'd been was already dead. He spent his first year in prison learning silence. The second learning patience. By the third he stopped counting days. But something inside him refused to die. Every night he replayed that raid. The rain. The look on Marcus's face. The way his own name was dragged through blood and mud. By year 5, Ethan had a new name. Ghost. He kept to himself, earned favors, traded information. He learned the quiet language of manipulation. How to make men talk and how to make them disappear. And when the day finally came that the parole board reduced his sentence for good behavior, he smiled for the first time in years. Because he knew exactly what he was walking back into. The city that betrayed him was waiting, and so was Marcus Hale.